What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to yugioh podcast. It's the old guy. It's Patrick back here again. Thank you guys for coming back and watching another deck profile for the channel. If you're new here, please like, comment, subscribe. As you can see here, we are sponsored by Troll and Toad, so please check us out. Check out Troll and Toad. Use the code yugiohpod5 to get your 5% off on all items sold by Troll and Toad. If it's sold by a merchant, the code won't work. So just make sure you guys see if it's sold by Troll and Toad. Make sure you guys get your 5% off on your purchases. So without further ado, let's check out this deck that we have here. So from what I hear, this deck is kind of running a rampage on Master Duel, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. This deck is really old as dirt, probably older than me, and you know that's saying a lot. I'm just kidding. I'm older than this card game, but the whole gist of the idea is that I've seen Amazon cards for quite some time, and I mean they've always had OTK, FTK type material, especially with Amazoness Archer. However, now they're kind of going into a new phase of how they're built with just OTKing your opponent essentially through damage, which is something they never could do. So now with the support that they have, it's made them actually a pretty strong warrior type deck. And I think that they look good. It feels good essentially, and it's actually really fun to watch. Took this deck to locals just to kind of mess around. Had quite a bit of crowd watching, you know, as I was playing this deck. So pretty amazing. Let's get into it. Enough, you know, preface. Let's go ahead and get on into this deck profile. So I'm going to read some of these cards. So please just remember this is standard practice. As like I said, you know, I can't read. So it is what it is. So you're going to be running 3 Amazoness Princess. Sorry about the glare there. It's a little bit further over. So Amazoness Princess is essentially your card. If you normal or special summon her, you can search out pretty much any Amazoness spell or trap, add it to your hand. Then not only that, is that when she declares an attack, you can send a card from your field or from your hand to the graveyard to special summon an Amazoness monster from the deck regardless of its level. So the deck is this card is fairly broken. It's very, very good, especially for the Amazoness archetype. It allows you access to essentially all of your cards within the deck, all of your monster cards within the deck. And let me grab this real quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything on the effect. But yeah, it looks like I've actually got it. Yeah. So anyway, and you special summon it in defense position. That's the only piece that I missed out from that effect. So pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. We're off to a good start, guys, usually, right? So then you're going to have 2 of your Amazoness Sword Masters, your Silver Sword Master, and then your Golden Whip. So you're going to have 2 and 2 of each. Their effects vary. Give me 1 second. We're going to go ahead and go through those really fast. So for the Silver Sword Master, both of them have a similar pendulum effect. So I'll read the pendulum effect first. It says Amazoness monsters you control gain attack equal to their own level times 100. When an attack is declared involving an Amazoness monster, you can target 1 Amazoness spell or trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of Amazoness Sword Master once per turn. Very good, in my opinion. So when it's all Amazoness monsters, when your deck is extremely homogeneous, this deck works really well as far as recursion, tutoring, and extending out. So it's really good in my opinion. So the effect of the monster effect, it says if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. If an opponent's monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. You can only use each effect of Amazoness Silver Sword Master once per turn. So really, really, really good, right? The card is just going to keep on recycling itself and keep on coming back. It's going to find its way back into the pendulum zone. So the Gold Whip Master is going to be very similar in terms of its effect. So I'll go ahead and read over it really quickly. So it says that its pendulum effect is the same. It gains each Amazoness monster is going to gain 100 attack times its own level. And then it says when attack is declared involving your Amazonas monster, you can target one spell or trap on the field and destroy it. You can only use this effect once per turn. So you can see, it starts giving you a lot of control aspects and control elements for this deck, for these pendulum cards. Makes your Amazonas monsters pretty scary, especially during the battle phase. So its monsters effect says that if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place this card in the pendulum zone, similar from the last one. Then if an Amazonas monster is special summon, if an Amazonas monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. So this one is entirely focused on what you're doing. The other one's kind of focused more so on what your opponent does, right? Then you've got 3 of these. Amazonas War Chief. This card is really, really good. I mean, it's a level 5, 1900 attack, 0 defense monster, which isn't really good stat-wise, but its effect is really, really good. So essentially, it's kind of like a Cyber Dragon, but not really. You just have to control an Amazonas monster. It says if you control no monsters or you only control Amazonas monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can set an Amazonas spell or trap or one polymerization directly from your deck. Also, you can only attack with Amazonas for the rest of this turn. You can only use each effect of War Chief once per turn. So, as you can see, it is a generic searcher for polymerization, which is a pretty rare effect within the whole game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Searching out for that card specifically. It's a very, very rare effect. Believe it or not, it's rare, which is pretty good in my opinion as far as this deck goes, because you run a lot of fusion monsters in the extra deck, so you're going to need access to polymerization and other Amazonas spells that are going to help you fusion summon. Then you're going to be running 2 of your Amazonas Spiritualist. Spiritualist is really good. She bounces a card back from the field to special summon herself from the hand. So it says you can target one Amazonas card you control, except Spiritualist, return to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the rest of this turn, except Amazonas monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. So another generic poly searcher, also fusion material. So that's why we're going to be running we have to run polymerization as a target for the deck as well. So then you're going to be running 1 Baby Tiger, and Baby Tiger is just kind of an easy special summon. It's fusion material. When it's in the graveyard, it can special summon itself back out to the field, so it's pretty good. Then you're going to be running Scouts. Scouts, you can tribute it, and then your cards cannot be destroyed by card effects. Your Amazonas monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects the turn that it's tributed for its effect, which is always super decent. Then we've got our Amazonas Queen, and Amazonas Queen essentially says that none of your Amazonas monsters can be destroyed by battle, which is you're going to be winding up in the battle phase quite a bit to get some of these effects off. So Amazonas Queen is very healthy for this deck. So then we have 3 quick play spells. So it's going to be Amazonas Call, and Amazonas Call is a very broken card, and I'll explain to you why. It says take 1 Amazonas card from your deck except Amazonas Call and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. During the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Amazonas monster you control. This turn, that monster can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, other monsters you control cannot attack. You can only activate 1 Amazonas Call per turn. So, very good. It's a Rhoda, plus it is a OTK tool, so it allows your big monster. So it's going to allow your Augusta to attack all your opponent's monsters. It's very good. I mean, I can't really say too much else about it. And then you're going to be running 3. For the final over here, you're going to be running 3 Amazonas Secret Arts. So Amazonas Secret Arts is essentially another quick play spell for the deck that is going to help you fusion summon. So it says fusion summon 1 Amazonas fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters in your hand and field as fusion material. During the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Once, if you fusion summon an Amazonas fusion monster this turn, you can also send 1 Amazonas monster from your extra deck to the graveyard as material. You can only use Amazonas Secret Arts once per turn and once only that turn. So as you can see, it helps you cheat out a lot of fusion decks. Instead of like using fusion tag or any types of substitution techniques, it literally allows you to fuse from the extra deck, which is crazy. I mean, I don't think there's any other card in the game that's like that. I mean, I think that's the only card in the game that allows you to do something like that. So if I'm not mistaken, please correct me in the comments below. God knows you guys are going to. I get, daily comments. And then we're going to be running the Amazonas Village. And this is we only run one of these. This is mainly just for flavor. It's not necessarily because it's going to help you win the game. The field spell states that all Amazonas monsters gain 200 attack once per turn. When an Amazonas monster is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Amazonas monster from your deck with a level less than or equal to that Amazonas monster in the graveyard. So it's, it can be relevant at some points, but for the most part, we're just playing it just for that attack boost, right? That's all we're really doing it, and then that's all we're really playing it for. It's not anything serious. So we're going to be running a polymerization. I was thinking about bumping this up to 2, because you can search this out quite a bit. But in my opinion, I think it's good at 1 because I bumped it to 2 for a little bit, and when I was drawing it, then you have all these cards that can search it. Kind of didn't make it worth it in my opinion. Plus that Amazonas, the Amazonas Secret Arts, that card, you kind of want to use that card more so than polymerization. So, but we do want to use 1 at least, just because. So that's why we have 1 in here. And this is pretty much self-explanatory. We're running a warrior deck. And we have level 4. So we're running reinforcement of the army. Then of course, since it's a warrior deck, right? We're going to be running Isolde in the extra deck. So we're going to need 1 target at least. And yeah, 1 target at least, in my opinion. We could probably put another equip spell in the deck as well. So that way we can target out our scouts or our, just our scouts and get that out of the deck. So that way we can keep using its effect. Then we're going to be running 1 Amazonas Hot Spring and then 1 Amazonas Hall. All right. So Hot Spring and Hall, they're very good cards. They're very good defensive cards. You really only need 1 each. You don't need to double up on either or. They're just going to allow you to interact with your opponent on their turn, and allow you to do some craziness. So then we're going to run the boring stuff. So, the stuff 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, right? Because we still need interaction. We still need to be able to stop our opponent, especially on their turn, right? 3 Prosperities, and that's going to help out with our consistency of the deck. Then we're going to be running 1 Call by the Grave. And then finally, and this was one that hasn't really shown up quite that often, we're going to be running 3 Infinite Impermanents. So that's going to be it for the main deck. Let's go ahead and get on to the extra deck. The extra deck is pretty interesting in my opinion. I really do like it as far as the playability of it. I really do like warrior decks. That's kind of the first deck that I've ever ran within the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So you're going to be running 3 Augusta. And Augusta is just a really, really big body. She's just a really big body. And then she's the target that you want to use to attack all your opponent's monsters and just kind of just run over everything. She's a very big monster. She has, 3,200 attack? 3,200 attack, 2,800 defense. Her effect is as follows. It says your opponent cannot target other Amazonas cards you control with card effects. Also, those cards cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card was fusion summoned using Amazonas Empress or Amazonas Queen as material, which you can use Princess because she substituted herself as Amazonas Queen. It says it can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this card is fusion summoned, you can special summon 1 Amazonas monster from your deck. So, really good. All right. Really good for taking your opponent down quickly. All right. Then we're going to be running 2 Amazonas Pet Liger King. This card is very good as well. This is, all the tiger, liger, whatever, all those are supporting the Amazonas archetype. So they usually have an effect of where they're going to boost attack or protect from something. So the effect is as follows. Essentially, it says your opponent cannot attack any monsters except this one. You can target 1 Amazonas card you control and 1 Amazonas warrior monster in your graveyard. destroy the target on the field, and if you do, special summon that other monster from the graveyard. This card cannot attack the turn that effect is activated. So this will help you kind of proc certain effects of destroying and getting those things. So it's really good. You kind of don't want to. You can also use this effect while Augusta's on the field because she only protects from your opponent's card effects, which is pretty good. Then we're going to be running 2 Amazoness Empress. Yes, that is an empty sleeve. That is actually a common card I only have one of. Now, I've got thousands of cards sitting back here. You can't see like up here and whatnot of my whole entire collection, and like down here below. Like I have a whole bunch of cards. I have a huge collection, and I only have one of these. I only got one of these things. I only got one of them. So its effect is as follows. It says that other Amazoness cards you control cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. If your Amazoness monster attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent, if this face-up fusion summon card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect while its owner controls it, you can special summon one Amazoness Queen from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Now, those aren't really sayings that we hear hand, deck, or graveyard. We don't really hear that these days. It's usually hand or graveyard, or deck or graveyard, or deck or hand, right? So we're usually used to hearing that. And then finally, we're going to be running the 2 Amazoness Pet Liger. This card is going to be one of your smaller fusion monsters. Its effect states once per battle. If this card attacks during damage calculation, you can make this card gain 500 attack during that damage calculation only. If your Amazoness monster is attacked an opponent's monster after damage calculation, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 800 attack. Your opponent's monster. Your opponent cannot. It says monsters your opponent controls. Good grief. Wow, I really can't read these days, guys. I'm sorry. Monsters your opponent controls cannot attack Amazoness monsters you control except for this one. Not too bad. So the tigers are always going to pretty much block your opponent from attacking you and your other Amazoness monsters, which is pretty good, right? So then we're going to be running 1 Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, because believe it or not, you do actually run through a lot of summons in this deck. It's pretty interesting. Like you get through a lot of monsters. So you're going to be running your Appaloosa, your access code. And then because we have big monsters, we can even run BLS. We've got big monsters in the deck. We can special summon them out to the field. We can link them off, and we can make pretty much a towers. And it's very hard for other decks to get over this. All the monsters in the deck are Earth, so you got to run an Asa. All the monsters are warrior in the deck, so we can search out some stuff with Isolde. And then we're running fusions, and fusions is the best typing for cross sheep. So guys, if you like the deck profile, let me know. Please comment, like, subscribe, watch this video, share it with your friends. You know what I mean? Do whatever you got to do, but please, keep supporting the channel as you do. I really do appreciate it. It's very hard to do this and manage a whole bunch of other things going on. But I love making these videos. So, if you guys keep coming back to watch them, I'll keep making them. And other than that, I don't really have too much else on this one. We're going to be diversifying the content on the channel. So we're going to make sure that we get some more content going out, some different stuff, maybe some market watches, some other things going on as the channel just continues to grow. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button. If you're still watching, please hit the subscribe button and comment below. I like responding to all the comments that I get. Other than that, guys, I will catch you at the next conversation. Peace out.